This is the Tuesday Chit Chats with Cat and Nat. If you want to listen to it ad-free, go over to Apple. Is the sound on?
Yes. So I got possessed last night, and one of my daughter's friends, who I love, I'm mildly obsessed with her daughter because I think they're just a very cute match. And her daughter doesn't do sleepover camp. If you are not from, I don't know what other part of the world does sleepover camp like Ontario. I don't know. I don't know who else is obsessed with sleepover camp like we are.
Mm-hmm.
Where most of your kids' friends go to sleepover camp.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, if you don't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're different.
So she doesn't like to do sleepover camp.
Why?
I don't know.
And the sister doesn't either?
Nope. And so my daughter is sort of like wants to go, but it's kind of like the one place she was thinking of going has water snakes, and she also doesn't like to do any running activities, and she also doesn't like to do she basically has a strict line of everything she does not like to do. And
even though she would run the camp.
Then I'm like, yeah, but she just wants to be social and dance.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not spending that much money for you to go and play, to go to a sleepover.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I agree.
You have to really, so you can sit on the sidelines and not swim.
Yeah.
Because you don't like the water. She doesn't like lakes. She doesn't like wind. Doesn't like from the time she was young, she's very set in her ways. And I really am having to do a parenting overhaul with her, a massive parenting overhaul with her, where I have to constantly reinforce the behavior I'm liking constantly because that's what makes her keep doing it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, it's like I'm pulling a bull backwards, which is impossible. The bull's walking forwards, you're not pulling it backwards. It's just taking you with you for the ride. And then it's going to buck you a few times. So this bull, I have to basically be like, come on. And then just keep going. It is so much work. She's not a people pleaser.
No.
The other two people pleasers.
Yeah.
Her? Fuck no.
What time did you get possessed, by the way?
Well, the mom texted me. He's like, have you got summer plans? I'm like, I don't do that.
And so for all of our lives, parents have always done that, because when you're a working mom and you have to go to the office and you're you have like a boss, or you have a bunch of employees waiting for you, you have to make summer plans. I mean, it's so hard for working parents the summer off.
You have to have it locked and loaded.
And then things fill up because we live in the city and everything's so busy. So people have always said that to us, like, oh, what are you doing? And we're always like, I don't know. They're like, you're going to do this. And we were always like, I don't know. Like, we'll just figure it out last minute.
And she's like this, we're late to the game. And I'm like this, what the hell are you talking about? So she's like, let me send you over what I've got so far. Fucking spreadsheet like I showed you. And I was like, this kind of genius to like actually see what you have. So I was like, okay. And then I suggested one place, and she was like, okay, let's switch them to that. I'm like, okay. And she's like, I'm doing this now. And I'm like, okay, you should like do it now. I'm like, okay. Bossy.
Those are the best kind of moms.
Love it. So I got one thing done for one kid 1 week, but the rest of them I just sat down and I thought potentially what I could do. And then we locked and loaded Taylor and Olivia. But I've realized that you cannot parent each kid the same. And that's really hard and confusing for the people in your lives that are working with, or like not the lead parent, as they call it on Instagram. The lead parent, if you will. What are they called?
Yeah, I think so.
Fucking lead parent.
Fucking CEO.
Fucking owner. No, that's terrible.
The founder.
Who runs a fucking show? Me. So it's really, and so I am trying to get everything planned. Who plans everything? Me. And I just sat there and I was like, fuck, Cat, focus. Do it. Get it done. Do it. Get it done.
She showed me the spreadsheet and I was like, oh my God.
At least I showed you. I could have kept it in the dark from you. Would you rather me not tell you? I didn't want to stress you out, but then I'm like, I should probably show her so she knows where I'm going.
Right.
Like what the plan is, because you're gonna be like, there's one, you really need to have signed up for something.
Oh.
You know.
I guess, yeah.
He'll go crazy.
Yeah.
And just look at you and just walk around and not sit down.
Right.
And he'll be like, you'll be like, you're going to be like, I have to do something with him. I can't do this.
Well, the one thing that we always have is we always have a backup plan that they like.
Yeah, we do. Tennis.
And yeah.
But I'm just putting it in.
Yeah. Okay. So for the boy, have you signed him up for anything?
No.
Okay.
I haven't yet. Well, I just have assumed, I'm assuming that there's things to do. I feel like two things. Help me out here. I kind of had an argument with one of my kids last night. because they want me to have a strong opinion about their life. But when I do, they want to do the exact opposite because I said it.
Yep.
So I have been very much like...
Which is so normal.
Yeah.
Just so you know, if that sounds familiar, you're normal.
So I know the minute we're in it, I can feel it, right? And I'm like, you want me to say this to you? And it's like we have to get in a fight. And then eventually she's like, fine, I'll do it. I'm like, I'm not saying that. I'm like, as a parent, it is my job to keep your eyes open when they want to stay in one lane. I have to open all the lanes for you. So at least I'm educating you on options. If I don't, you are 14 and you're 14 and you're not developed yet, and it's proven and it's facts. So you can argue me or not argue me. I'm your extra set of eyes. I'm like your helicopter, not parenting you. I am just watching from above to let you know your options that you can't see. You're in the driver's seat. I'm the traffic operator. Here's what I see. A, B, C, D. You're just doing A right now, even though you say you want D. You can't have A. You can't have D if you're only doing A. I'm like, you get what I mean? And she's like, well, they're like, ah. And I'm like, one day you're going to say to me, why didn't you? And I want you to remember right now, I am telling you about A, B, C, D, and you only want to see A. I'm like, do you hear me? Fine, I'll do D. I'm like, not saying that. You know, so it's frustrating when you have an older teenager to help them understand their finite summers of balancing fun versus productivity versus, do you know what I mean?
What else do you want her to do?
I want her to get a job.
Oh, I know. Kind of fucked that up, didn't we?
No, I mean, you can volunteer for two to 4 weeks.
Oh yeah, you can volunteer. Yeah.
Like, no, I want you. I know that I want you to get a job because I don't want you to work all summer. I'm not asking you to be like 9 to 5 all summer. But I want you to know what it's like to be uncomfortable, go into a place where you don't know people and have expectations.
Yeah.
I want that for you. And I don't want you to do it in a place where it's like easy.
Yeah.
Like easy, fine. It's a job. But I want you to know what it's like to go.
And also to be accountable and to have a boss, to know what it's like to have somebody watching over you that isn't your family or your friends or your teachers.
Well, and her goals are to do something that she needs experiences in. So you're not just like, you need to get, I said to all my kids, I want to let you know, TikTok, Snapchat, and the internet and your TVs will not be available from 8 to 5 p.m. for 12 weeks, maybe 2 weeks. But there's not a chance in hell you're on your phones all day for summertime. So either tell me what you want to do or I'm going to help you decide what you're going to do. Yeah. But you need to come to me with a plan or I'm going to help you with a plan because we're at the age now where playing is no longer a thing. Like just free playing. When they were little, it was so easy. They would just play. They would go in and out. They would go to the basement. They would play. Now they just go on devices and spend money.
Yeah.
Walk the streets, spend money.
Yeah.
So I just thought, I was like, I need to put boundaries in.
It's so crazy too. I was thinking when I was thinking about the summer because I was like, originally all of August you'll be working, and now I just kind of bumped into that.
Right.
And I was like, I mean, we'll see if it can work, but I'm like, if another summer goes by and she doesn't work, it's just kind of funny because like I was working while I was going to school.
Yeah.
Like high school, I'd go to my job and I could manage a job and school. And, you know, I never really thought, because a lot of my friends didn't actually have jobs, and I never really thought that wasn't fair. I just did, you know?
Me too. I mean, I had a job too.
I knew there was no other way to get money unless you make money. Right. And I guess it was a good lesson because, I mean, I don't know, are the kids that didn't work in the summers worse off than me when I think about them? No.
What do you mean worse off by you?
Like, I mean, do they have less work ethic than I do and all of that? And I'm like, no, actually, some of them didn't have to work and they went off to their like cottages all summer and some of them didn't work. Are they in a worse place? Are they less successful than me? No.
Yeah, I think it definitely depends on your kid. And I think it is definitely, you know, like our podcast the other day, I think it really comes down to your values as a family and like what you want them to know, right? Like what what are they going to do if they're not? That's my thing.
Yeah, totally.
Not about like, are they
Yeah.
worse off? What are you going to do?
Yeah.
And I think my job as a parent is to constantly be reminding them and encouraging them, because experiences shape you as you are.
Mhm.
And if you're just in my house all summer,
Mm-hmm.
that's going to be bad for both of us.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to look at me like, what are we doing today? And I'll be like, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So, so I just think doing nothing breeds doing nothing.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with, we don't have a cottage. I mean, my mom has one, but she doesn't want to go there. And we don't have an endless amount of money to go
Mm-hmm.
on vacations in Europe all summer.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have, the resources to let her go shop all day
Mm-hmm.
or whatever people do who are in the city. And I remember my dad used to say, when I used to get to go to my cottage in the summertime when I was little, and the
Mhm.
cottage was like a literal fire hazard. We found out when they
Mhm.
renovated it one day that there was no electricity. There was like really nothing. It was very basic, but he was like, you're so lucky you get to be free up here, because everyone in the city, it was too hot to go outside. Like there wasn't much to do, right? So he's like, you're really lucky you get to do this. And I understand what he's saying now, because when I think of
You didn't have electricity at the cottage?
no, because you had to share it. You're on a grid. So like you'd get it rolling, and then you had to share a party line too. So that everyone had one phone line, everybody together.
So you only had lights, like,
Yeah, certain part of the day. Like maybe not during the day, only at nighttime
yeah,
or something. And then no toilet, like you'd do the porta potty in the
Mhm.
house.
Mm-hmm.
And but it was like
Compostable toilet.
like, yeah, you couldn't, you could only flush for number 2, or like, and there was a, what's
If
it
it's
called?
yellow, let it mellow. If it's brown,
What's
flush
it called?
it down.
You know the thing it's called? It's called like I don't know. It's called something, and it smells when you go upstairs when it's hot, like in where it goes, like a well. I forget what it's called.
Mhm.
So yeah, no, it was very basic, but we just played. We had a lake. We would play night, like flashlights.
I know,
Like
so
all of us
fun.
would run around and just be free. There was all kids all along, and we'd make up games, and that's gone.
Yeah.
That's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking phones. So I just am.
I guess that is one of the blessings of like sleepover camp, is that they don't get their phones for 2
It's
months.
beautiful.
Yeah. It's nice.
It
There's
is-
not a lot of places that you can do that.
No, it's really nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really nice time out, and they don't get to they get to stop their brains and worry about what's in front of them now,
Mm-hmm.
not what's coming, what happened, what did. And I think that as parents, like that's a gift you can't really give them.
I was just laughing because my son yesterday was like, why do I have to go on these field trips? Why do I have to do these things? Why do you make me do these things? And I'm like, they're not created for nothing. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And I did them all. And there's like a couple of like museums that he has to go to. And he's like, oh, I don't want to. I'm like, I had to go to the museums. And you know what? I remember those experiences. I remember being there. I'm thankful it's under my belt. Some people like to go to museums everywhere.
You might love them.
Who knows? That could be your thing. I've got friends that do it for fun. For fun, and
People
go to different
museums
cities
for fun.
and
They
they go.
travel.
And when they go to cities, they go to the museums there, and they love it. I'm like, how do you know that's not something you're gonna? I don't think I'm gonna love that. Well, you don't know till you try.
I can tell you he's not going to love it. I can tell you right now, he's never going to go to a museum again. Like never, unless he's like got to date a girl. He's not going to museums. No, that's not a kid who's going to. None of our kids are museum kids. I hate to break. Not one are a museum kid.
My son said to me last night, it's really funny because it's really nice to have like. I always say, like, I wish I had someone that like dressed a certain way and I just loved everything that they wore, so I could just buy what they wore and they had the same body as me and it worked, right? It's really great to have a mentor
Yeah.
in lots of different ways. It could be like a mentor, like I want to be a dad just like that.
Yeah.
He said to me last night, and I was like, that's just so like raw and authentic and real. And
What?
I'm so glad you have that. He said, I'm going to be the next this person.
Okay.
It's a person we know,
Okay.
but basically the way that person is living their life,
Is what he wants.
I want my life to be like that.
Perfect.
I'm going to be the next, and that's person's first name and second name. I died. And I was like, I love that for you. It's
Good.
so nice that you have someone. You should go talk to that person.
Yeah.
Just ask them what life is like.
Yeah.
If they're happy, how hard they have to work, how much money they make. And I was like, it's so funny. And I was like, he just always wants to like,
You know what though?
mm,
I feel like if you told him what he had to do to get there, he would do it. The ones I worry about
I know.
are the disconnect between what you want and
Yeah.
what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, there's a big disconnect here.
Yeah.
If you say this and you're doing this, they don't match up.
It's also nice to have a dream.
Yeah. Is it a good dream?
Oh, his streams, yeah, good. I mean, I think so. Yeah, it seems great. It'd be perfect.
Basic,
Whatever.
love it. He
Basic,
knows. He's like, done, sold. He's like, where can I sign the contract?
But like, when someone like wants to be an actress and they have a dream of that, or they want to be a singer, or they want to be a dancer, and they want to do this. It's so nice to have these kind of like magical dreams.
Yes, Chloe is famous in her brain, and she is going to be famous.
Oh yeah, she wants to be famous.
Oh, I am gonna be. She is like, I could do this. I could be this. She thinks
she wants to be famous.
She just thinks she's somebody.
Yeah. She
just feels she's somebody. Like she doesn't. She's just like, I'm. Fucking see the way she wore her outfit on set. Like no, like the Ryan the glass. Oh, no shame. And she's not young. Mm-mm. No shame. Just thinks she's fabulous from head to toe. Mm. And I don't know what kind of job that person gets when you think you're that great.
I mean, at this point, it doesn't. It's lots of conversations, but it doesn't. It might not exist.
Exactly.
It might not. I mean, for gosh sake,
she could create herself on AI and be famous in the AI world and not even have to do anything.
I fell for AI this morning.
Newts.
We should do an AI sex tape. It was a balcony in a hotel restaurant in looking out onto something, and it was the most stunning like architecture design ever. And then someone was like, wow, AI can really make it. Oh my God, I totally fell for it. I was trying to see in the comments.
There's true crime too, AI too. Like families who were, and it's all full AI with the family and then the murder site.
Like, do we just sort of lose our sense of what's real and what's real, and it actually doesn't matter?
Yep.
Because I was looking in the comments to see where is this place.
And it was not real.
It's not real.
Well, you wanted to go there.
I was so excited to go there. Maybe I could just get my virtual eyeballs on and then I could go there. And does it matter that I haven't left my house? Nope. I experienced it and it was beautiful.
So this summer we're putting AI goggles on our kids and they're going to sleepover camp.
Going to sleepover camp. They're traveling the world.
Sit down.
They're volunteering in different countries.
I'll see you in 12 weeks. Have a great time.
But you can't smell, taste, and really
I'm not for it.
Make actual connections, right? Or can you make connections with the people? Like,
yeah, you can.
Could I have a server and have a great time laughing around with them and be like, oh, I had the best conversation with them?
Probably.
Wow.
You probably could.
Oh, well, I don't, you know what? I'm not here that much longer. I don't have to worry about it too much more.
It's coming fast and furious.
Well, I'll be a part of it. I mean, I'd love to go on that patio.
I mean, think how cool it's going to be when, oh my God. Okay. So this is kind of cool. So I'm reading this book, as you guys all know, I talked about it in one of the podcasts, and it's called Hidden Potential. And this one part of the book was talking about, sort of who you are as a person and the circumstances you have to be in to be in, like, to this kind of this, who you are, the characteristics you have. So the pilots in America, when they get their pilot's license, so they do simulation where they have to land a plane from like a tailspin.
Yes.
So they do a simulation of it.
Yes.
So they do it like in the actual, like, feels real,
Yeah.
AI, but not real. Okay. Yeah. So something about,
but they're actually touching these, not AI. They're actually touching. They're actually pushing
but in the world, it's like they're doing a thing. Okay.
Right.
So to pass in America, you have to go with your instructor, go in the air.
Yeah.
They put you, they're like, apparently like the nose goes down and something you have to like slow down. If you slow down your speed and put the nose up or down, you'll go into a
tailspin.
You have to do that. And he's like, when you see them do it, they can do it in the simulator. But then when they have to do it in real life, which is the exact same as a simulator, they have different responses and different ways that they handle things.
Actual fear.
Well, yeah, I guess, but it would be but something in your body can trick you and let you know which is real and what's not real. Right. Yeah. So they're looking for the characteristic traits of people because you don't know what you're going to do in that moment until you're in that moment. Mm-hmm. So they actually have to go and do that. And they're like, it's the moment that happens, you can see some people forget what the hell they're doing. Mm-hmm. Some people freeze. Some people, it's sort of like you cannot predict who is going to be able to handle those situations until you're in the situation itself. And I forget what the point, I have to go back and remember it, but when I was listening to that story, I was thinking to myself, that's the problem with AI and this whole second world and our kids living on their phones.
Yeah. They never actually have to face it for real.
They're getting experiences and they're
without the
building skills,
and they're experiencing these things without the not the repercussions, but the the consequences of real life.
Yeah. And being able to build skills upon it, because you can think, so often we meet people and I'm like, I've met you before. You haven't. You just know them online, or I feel like I know you, or I've done that. You didn't. You just saw it and you thought you did it, because it becomes like there's so much information that comes at you.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And so that's why I think a big part of summer for me is I want them to actually be doing things, because I think you can get caught up in feeling like you're doing things when you're just on your phone. So I'm sort of like,
and it's like the only time, like there's only those many weeks that, because school really is out of their control. They have to do what the school tells them to do. This is a time where they can choose what they want to do.
Yeah. And for fun, and meet new people and go and do things. And I really think that, what would we be doing right now if our kids didn't have phones for the summer? What would we be doing? What would they be doing if they had no way to entertain themselves all summer?
I think they'd be playing in the pool
all day.
And they'd watch movies. And they would do crafts.
You think?
Well, I don't know.
What did you do?
At a lot of their age, I went up to an island with a deserted island with no TV. Same. And it was like, we weren't even attached to mainland. What did I do? Filled the fucking days.
I know.
We really did.
But with physical and physical.
And Archie comics.
Yeah, reading.
Yeah.
So I'm just I just know I'm gonna look at them and be like,
get out of my face.
Get off your phone. Yeah. And get out of my face.
Oh my God. Yes. I can just see you exactly saying those words.
Go do something with your life.
Go do something with your life.
And then they're like, there's nothing to do. And I'm like, you should. And if you don't plan, there's not. So the anxiety of the summer is hitting me right now.
Oh God.
With children of age being old enough to do things, but not old enough to do, like, I'm just sort of like,
I know. And then I have a really hard time, because I think to myself, every week that they don't do something is a week that I'm saving money. And I really think about that. And I'm like, a week can pass by and I didn't spend any, like, what did we spend? Like $100 on whatever. I've saved a lot of money for every week that I don't put them in something.
Work.
They should be working.
So I think that's what I'm really looking at, is how do I, because also I am their mom, and I don't know what other families, I wish there was more conversation about, maybe we need a common parent expert on about, like, I want to know what we need to do to help them grow up in a way that holds them accountable and teaches them responsibility and teaches them, things. I know they're young. They're 14, 15. She's turning 15 this summer. She's actually not that young.
In my own personal experience, it was getting a job. Not being able to be late, having to be there, having to record your hours, having to, like, all that stuff is what taught. And it taught me so much, because nobody cared. No, there was nothing favorable. There's nobody saying, like, it's okay because I know you. It's okay.
I know.
Like, it is what it is. You're like the rest of the world. And
okay.
So, like, that's how I learned. I think that's how you learned.
Yeah, no, it is how I guess it's how I learned. I want to make sure that I'm not placating. Like, I want to make sure I'm not fixing their lives for them. And, when I realized, when I had the epiphany of how I have to parent the one, I'm like, I think I have to sort of push another one. I have to push it. I have to push her a little bit out of the nest and be like, okay, it's time to go do something different than be in the room. You know what I mean? Like, I'm feeling like I'm watching someone. Want to make sure they all reach their potential. And I really do think kids who have adversity really do grow and stretch differently than the ones who have it easier.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like,
also because life is long and you might make it to a certain age without having to deal with those things, but it can come at you anytime. And if you don't have experience with it, with having to figure shit out on your own, it could hit you way too late.
And aren't you, I'm always struggling with, like, push pull. Like, am I pushing you? Are you not doing it because you don't want to, or are you not doing it because you don't feel comfortable doing it? So I'm trying to honor what they say, but I'm also like, you know what? You need to be pushed to do it so you know that you can do it. So I'm sort of like this constantly, like, when I watch, I'm like, why are you not doing that right now?
You know, it's so funny when I think about parenting these days and all of that stuff that we're talking about and thinking about
Yeah.
and overanalyzing and like, cause it's important because we're their mom and it's their
coming
life.
down fast.
I just feel like I had no choice. My mom didn't even think about it. It was like, go, got to get you want money? You go get a job. You got to do it, do all of this. And it was just like, there was no conversation. It just was go. And I
think, and I don't even know how we got in an argument about, I'm like this. No, it's an
I know, but
like, it's an expectation.
This is like
parenting today.
And so many, and even we were on that show with those really funny people.
Yeah.
And it's like so many adults are sitting there going, we know that we're doing too much, but we can't stop. Because also you don't want to be the one who's not helping out. You don't want to be the reason things don't work out.
I think I'm going to give them all a memo.
Like an email?
I'm just going to be like, guys, I want to let you know that I've told them, I'm like, I really am thinking like the internet is shut down from X amount of hours to X amount of hours. Like I can put time on their phone. I do it now and they get so frustrated, but I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah, no, I don't care.
It finishes.
Plus you wouldn't have that phone if I wasn't paying for it. So I'm actually in charge.
Yeah. And I just want them to know like TV, and this is not an option every day for like, you can have a week off or you can watch it, but I think it's my job. I guess, thank you for the therapy, everyone. I guess it's my job to level set the expectations of what I think summer's going to be. And then they can decide.
And you know what's funny? If you were to say like, you're in charge of the internet because you pay for it, then if they were to say, oh, you really want more internet? Okay, well, go get a job and you can pay for your own plan. The experience there would be, they'd be too busy at work.
I know.
To sit on their phone.
I know.
Which is exactly what you want. You know what I mean?
Yep. Well, and I don't even mind if I pay for it. Yes, I pay for it, but you're not wasting your summer on a device. So what's your plan? I guess I can ask them. If you don't have one, I can help you make one. But I
have a spreadsheet right here for you. Yes or no.
Yeah, and volunteering's free. And yeah, you can use hours. And if you want to join a sport, I'm great with that. And if you like, give me what you think your day is going to look like. Because relaxing for 12 weeks, because my kids have 12 weeks off.
You also had an intense last summer of experiencing what that's like.
Fuck no, I had kids in my face all day. I'm actually like, I'll leave you a note, but I'm gone.
Yeah. Where are we gonna go?
Like I'm gone.
Yeah, we're gonna Greece.
Like you're watching my kids.
Yeah. Wait, with me?
Well, I'm not.
No, we're together. I'm not. No.
I'm
where you are. I'm where you are.
I am basically.
I'm where you are. Who are you gonna be with?
By yourself. Probably in a fucking insane asylum at this point.
No. It's gonna be great. It's okay.
I'm fine with it. I need some control back after that summer. I was like, I'm not doing that ever again.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure I might have to, but that was a long.
Yeah, it was long.
Long summer.
That was long.
So yeah, there's got to be some. I saved a lot of money last summer.
Yeah, that was good.
A lot of money last summer. So no, I didn't actually. I paid for treatment all summer. So no, I did not save a lot of money.
No.
So I just think if you guys, I would love to hear from you what you're doing. How are you encouraging your teens? I also want to set an expectation.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what is everyone else doing with their teens? Because a lot of these kids who go to camp will become LITs and then become counselors.
Yeah.
And if you don't do that, you shut down your opportunity to do that. So what does your summers look like from here to here to here? What does that look like for you?
Yeah. And I know there's a lot of different worlds. Like a lot of you are like, my kid works through the year and during school. I don't like.
Yeah, but 13, some of them can't get jobs.
They're 13, yeah.
And so what are you doing with a 13 and 14-year-old? Because some 14-year-olds are not hireable.
And they're also too old for like day camp.
Yeah. So what are these, and how do you expect them to? What are your expectations of them? Because it's all easy. 16, 17, you have to get a job. But 13, 12, 13, 14, when they're like, I'm not going to day camp.
And the problem is that back in the day when we said just let them be free, let them have their own schedule. Everything's so overscheduled. So the problem now with the access to their phones is that the time that they're going to spend doing it isn't going to be good for them.
Yeah, and their friends are all doing something. Do you know what your daughter's friends are doing?
I think a lot of them probably go to camp. Actually, I know a lot of them go to camp. Actually, most of them go to camp.
Yeah.
Sleepover camp. Yeah, I guess they do that. And then I think a bunch of them work at place. Some of them work all summer there, actually.
Yeah.
And so work and sleepover camp.
what age do we expect kids? What age would you expect people to start working out? Like,
I don't really think about it. I feel like the time will be right. For some, it will be older, and some it'll be younger. My brother worked at a campus. I think my brother didn't have like a job while he was in school during the year. Neither of my brothers did, and I did. But that was what worked for us.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think it'll be based on the kid. I was thinking when our daughters are going away for that time, I said that bumps into the month of August. But she, and I thought if she doesn't work this summer, we'll try and make it work. She wants to too, because she wants money. If that doesn't work, then that's okay. She did work before. She has had a job. She had to quit the job because of school. She's supposed to work March break.
That's great.
I will see if it happens. Because I haven't heard anything lately about it. But she was like, I can make this much money if I work this week, March break. I have 2 weeks of March break. If I work this much, I can make this one. I'm like, that's a lot of money. You should definitely do that.
Yeah.
So she said she signed up, but we'll see.
Thanks for joining us, guys. Let us know your expectations. And happy whatever parenting day it is.